Hey everybody, welcome 2019, and we are back. Just when you thought it was safe to come out, we are here again. So, lovely, and I am here with my co-host, my good buddy, Gary Hyman.
Me? Again?
You, again.
2019? Happy everything, Bernie.
Again. We had auditions for your role, but you're back in.
How'd that happen? I was the only one who showed up for the auditions.
And the guys, we could not do the show without Sean and Tony back in the house,
everyone.
2019.
Yes.
Welcome back. Share the show.
Yep, share the show.
Share.
Share. Please share the show. Take your phone, share it to a friend, share it to somebody who you think might like it. And it's going to be a great show today because we're talking 2019.
Yes.
2019.
Yes.
You know, this is a special time, and we were discussing this earlier. This is probably the only time of year that everybody embraces change. Everybody has the resolution. Everybody has, whether they're making a resolution or not, they have it on their mind. Hey, I want to try this. I want to go over and meet this person this year. I want my business to break into this new field. Everything is open. And you know what? We are so adverse to change, most people. When thinking about this, I was amazed. It is the only time in our kind of general society we acknowledge change as a good thing.
Yeah, absolutely.
You know?
I agree, Bernie. You know, when a new year comes up, you can erase that chalkboard and start all over again.
Ooh,
That's
I like
the greatest feeling.
I like that. Yeah.
Get a new start, new lease. Get some new energy going for your business.
Get some energy going, and you know how it is with people. I mean, we deal with a lot of people. There's sometimes misunderstandings or disagreements. If you've had anything like that going on over the last year, and you're kind of thinking, "Oh, I'm sorry it went that way," or whatever. Give somebody a call. Call them up, say, hey, you know, it doesn't have to be right now. It doesn't have to, it could be in a week from now, you know, it could be tomorrow.
Sure.
I don't know.
Sure.
But just break the ice a little bit. I think you'll probably find most people aren't holding a grudge like you think they might. And,
Absolutely.
You know,
I agree.
Hopefully
I agree.
not.
And, you know, Bernie, it's a good time. You know, people always do like what they call a wellness check.
Yeah.
For yourself. Well, it's a wellness check for your business.
Yes.
You know, that's you definitely want to get on board and check those domain names. You know, check your equipment list, check your client list. It's just a whole new.
Well, going to clients, I think that's really a big one because and you know what? Here's the thing. When I am telling you guys what are the best practices, they are things I have failed at. Okay, this is not me just saying, oh, I'm so good at this, I got to tell everybody about. Far from it. Everything you hear out of my mouth was earned the hard way, learned and earned the hard way, which is by not doing it and then paying the price. And in most cases, it was never just like, oh, I don't want to do that. It was like I didn't understand the value of doing that.
Yes,
you know?
yes.
So everything that you hear from me, Gary, or anybody on this show is all about experience. And it's all about, we're all going to make the same mistakes over again. We get that. But the way that you prevent that or minimize that is by reminding yourself what the priorities are, what the values are.
Sure. Absolutely. Yeah, you know, Bern, I was just checking my domain name.
Okay.
And I go, whoa, it expired. So here's a big problem with that. Anybody could be watching your name and looking for the expiration.
You know
and
this is live. You
yeah,
know this is live.
Oh, yeah. Well, trust me, I fixed it. I fixed it immediately. But if you don't catch it, somebody can grab your name and hold your name for ransom.
Oh, dude. Let me tell you, I don't know the story real well, but there was a time when somebody let the name Microsoft.com expire. Yes. Believe it or not. This was a long time ago, and obviously they probably got some resources to make sure they get that back if they lost it. And I don't know if they actually ever lost it, but for a while it was not claimed.
Right.
And you know that is a very, very, very good point. You know. It's easy to get started with something and you go through, you make your website, you get your domain name, and now it's working and do it. It's really, really easy to forget about things that are very, very important.
Absolutely. And it does give you a choice of 1 year, 3 year, 5 year.
Right.
And it does get, overall, it does get cheaper if you buy a longer term.
Absolutely.
I suggest buying the longest term.
I do too.
That way you just put that away, 10 years, whatever it is, and just hold on to your name. Your name is everything.
It's everything. I remember when I have probably about 100 domain names that I own. I keep most of them on a 1 and 2 year. Burnie's Grip and Lighting, obviously I went to the max. It was 10 years. I got that because you don't want to lose that.
Right.
But it is very important. That's a very good point because people have to get a hold of you. Let me say this, social media is something also, for me it plays a big, big role in my business. It really does. I get a lot of business through social media. How it works, when it works, I have no idea, But a lot of people I know I've got a connection with out there, people are always coming back to me talking about something I do or don't do on social media.
Sure.
So I know it is getting through,
Right.
And I think it's a really good time for you to go back and review all of your social media presence.
Yes.
And a way that I'll tell you that I like to do that is to really just take one at a time. Say I've got way too many pages right now, but I'd just like to take one at a time, stop, calm myself, and try to only focus on that, and try to pull myself out of my knowledge base and everything, and think every time I look at a new item or a posting, what would I think if I'm somebody who does not know me at all? Right. What am I really saying to someone? And I think what you'll find is, number one, you're probably doing okay,
right,
as far as messaging goes. But at the same time, you may find that I can make this more fun. I can put myself in there more. I can bring my values to the front a little more. I don't have to be so about business all the time.
Right.
I can put some of my feelings in there. I know that is something I've always tried to be honest, and this is kind of me as a person, be pretty open and honest with people about what I'm feeling or what I'm thinking and doing all that. But I found, and I mean, I can take every page that I have on Facebook or Instagram and go, I am failing at some part here. You know what I mean? And it just really needs to have that mind on it, that eye on it, that is telling you the truth.
Absolutely, I totally agree. Bern, when it comes to your website, you got to freshen it up. It's like anything else. It's it's like a vase with flowers. Pretty soon those flowers wilt, get old, fall off.
The vase is beautiful.
Yeah, the vase,
flowers
the base
are dead.
is beautiful.
Yeah,
but the flowers are dead. So even if you just go out and shoot your own B-roll and spruce it up, your own beautiful, because sometimes you're with clients that go, oh, I want to shoot this, I want to shoot that. It's boring. So you get out and you shoot your own B-roll of some beautiful locations. Thing. And then maybe your equipment list, some equipment you've sold, traded off, some equipment you've brought in new. You got to highlight that stuff. You got to take out the old, put in the new.
And let people see the process.
Yes.
Let them see the process. And look, this is where I get some of the best responses that I get through social media, is asking a question. Hey, I'm having trouble with this.
Sure.
Anybody else have this problem?
Right.
Anybody else know this? Boy, when you ask that, I tell you, people come out of the woodwork and want to put in, and that is so valuable.
What happens a lot, too, is that in the old days, people would recommend you, hey, try Burnie Burns.
Right.
Well, they would call you directly because there was no social media presence.
Sure.
But now, when your name gets recommended, they're going to go right on the Google and they're going to type in Burnie's Grip and Lighting.
It's the stock.
And they want to see what you're all about. They're not going to talk. Talking is over.
They are not going to talk to you first.
No.
By the time they pick up that phone, they've convinced themselves
exactly
you are the person for the job, or at least a candidate.
By looking at your social media presence.
Absolutely.
That's key now.
And I think everybody is, aware, you know what I mean, that you don't put your, the last orgy you were at.
that Facebook. Part.
Yeah.
Burning Man 2015, right?
Burning Man. That's a private album.
Yeah.
That's a private album there. But You know, you want to really take that apart and see what you're putting out there and see what you're doing, you know. And it can be small things, you know, a complaint about something. And I'm not saying that a complaint is not valid to put on your Facebook or whatever. But with any negativity, include the positive with it too. You know what I mean? If it's a problem, suggest a solution.
Don't let it hang out to dry.
Yeah, negative Nan. You know what I mean?
Bring it in, put it in the dryer, fold it, and make it nice again.
Yeah, exactly. Exactly. Have a solution.
Sure.
Be a problem solver. Be a positive person, you know? And probably, in a lot of cases, well, let me just tell you about social media, what I do. This is sort of my base philosophy here. You know what I mean? People understand me as one thing. I am many more than just one thing. I'm a pretty dynamic person, like all people are.
Sure.
You know. But when you're posting, I always think about this. You're giving people an idea about one thing of you.
Right.
Don't go too far off the reservation. Don't take something that's really out here and stuff like that. If people know you like sports, certainly you can include your sport in that. Maybe that's all you want to include and don't even want to include your business.
Sure.
You know what? And that's great. But whatever your choice is on that, stick with it.
Right.
You know what I mean? And don't get too far off of the subject matter.
Sure.
Yeah. You know, and I guess it just goes to say anymore, because I've been down my road of hell with this, is don't post anything political.
Yeah, boy.
You know what I mean?
That's Pandora's box.
Yeah. Sexy is okay, but not sex.
Right. Absolutely.
Sexy is okay, but not sex.
Sure.
You know.
Sure.
So and also like sports. You know, that's kind of a safe place for it's my team, not my team. You know, all that. But I'll tell you this. Also, if you're ever on social media and it's getting too heated, because once again, I've had something, drop out.
Yeah, absolutely.
Drop out.
Absolutely.
Do not answer the insult. Do not go through it. Don't have to have the last word. Don't worry. It doesn't matter anyway. If people are mad at you for saying it, they're going to be mad at you for saying it, whatever else you say after that. You know what I mean? And if they're not, you've proved your point already.
Absolutely.
You don't have to keep pounding it at home or telling the other person how stupid they are or anything like that. You know, so it's just really best to be your best person. Be that nice guy that everybody likes.
I always found that the best offense is a defense.
Yeah.
Is a great defense. You know, at the end of the day, when you say nothing, the opposite side always will come up with things that you're thinking about, and you've won.
Yeah. Yes.
So you just cut it. You just cut it. You know, just cut it right there.
Yeah.
Move on. Get on to a positive subject.
Get on something, and really try to just stay away from it in the very first place. Anyway, you know what I mean. And another thing, you know what, and this is something, these are all New Year's stuff.
Sure.
This is all stuff that I'm looking at myself right now, and I'm talking here with Gary, and this is stuff that I am not doing enough of.
Right.
You know, one of the things that I would suggest that I'm okay at, but I see where I fail at it, is to really be promoting other people via your social media. Right. And what I mean by that is, like, I have a lot of jobs, so I don't go out on every job, obviously. I send a lot of guys out on other jobs.
Sure.
And those guys I always like to pump up with a post or something like that, you know, putting the A-team out on it, you know, all that. Please do that as much as you can. I have a really good buddy. I'm not sure if I can say his name, so I won't, but a lawyer up in Tacoma, Washington, and wrote the nicest post the other day about his staff. And it was an anniversary of sorts. A lot of his staff had been with him for 20 years. Wow. So he took some time and wrote a post, and he named individual people and what they've done for him over the years. You know, that is so awesome.
It was a long way.
He didn't have to do it. But boy, I can imagine being that employee and working for somebody for 20 years and then seeing that appreciation from him still.
That's very nice.
Really inspirational. Really
That's
inspirational.
A great thing.
Yeah.
You know, just like anything else, you know, beginning of the year is just a little slow. We're getting back on our feet.
Yeah.
It's a great time to go through all your gear. Make sure everything works,
so
well-oiled, tuned up. You know, now's the time to do it, because once the phone calls start coming in, there's no chance at it.
It's done.
It's done.
It's done.
So just get in there, revamp, renew, recase, whatever it needs to be done.
Whatever it is. Get in there. You know, I know I put this out. I actually got, we would like to hear what you want for 2019. I want to hear your suggestions for 2019. What you should do, what are good ideas, all that. But mostly I want to hear, what do you want out of this year? What is not happening for you, and may be happening, but just not how you want it. I've got a lot of those, actually.
Oh, yeah.
But tell me what you want out of this year. We'd love to look at this, but a few people have already said in my post about the show that I posted, they've said a few things. Let me see if I can get on that and take a look.
You know, and while you're looking, Bert, I'll tell you, never be satisfied for where you're at.
No.
In this business.
No.
You always have to take it one rung up. Always, always. Because at any given time, your client base could shrink at any given time. So you always have to have extra bullets ready to go.
You have to figure out, like, when you're out there, you got to not only have extra bullets, you got to have an extra gun.
Yes.
You've got to have an extra, you got to have something in your quiver. That's right, that you can pull off. And that's by having great relationships in the industry.
Absolutely.
That's really what covers you more than anything else. Remember, those people that are your relationships, your friends and stuff, they are your cover.
Yes.
Those are the people. And it's as simple as this. I know if I've got something that goes down in the field, or the hour before I'm supposed to drive to set and stuff, I can call you.
Yep.
And I can call a half dozen other people that may have different items that I would need, or could send somebody out. Or really what it mostly is the intellectual knowledge of how to fix the problem. You know what I'm saying?
Always.
So that asset, your group who is holding you up, you cannot succeed in this industry without that.
Yes.
You know.
I agree. 150%.
You know what? I got one here, and this is Robert F. Smith. Thank you, Robert. Thank you, buddy. And this was on a post that was done earlier that I posted for the show. Yeah, I go, tell it is what you want for 2019, and you're not going to be surprised by this. More decent paid work.
Oh,
more decent paid work. And I can feel you there, Robert. I can feel you big time on that one, buddy. More decent paid work. That is it. Now, that's a process. That isn't something that you come in and flip a switch to do. That's a process that you do ongoing.
Yes.
And what that is always assessing what you're making, always assessing what type of work it is that you want to do. Because I think a lot of times we get lost because we don't have direction.
Right.
You know, we're just waiting for that phone to ring to take to the next job. And when you're operating that way, it's very hard to lift your level. You know, I cannot tell you how important it is for you to make phone calls, okay? To have you on the other end, whether you're in connection. And when I say phone calls, it's contact, okay?
Right.
I'm an old guy, so the only way of communicating was smoke signals or phone calls back in my day. You know, but text, you know, social media. Emails are so ineffective, though. I hate emails anymore, but they're valid. That is a valid way to send. Yeah, you to send greetings or whatever. But you know what? And this is how I hire people. It's really the last person who contacted me is the first person on my mind, and that doesn't mean you have to call somebody every day. But you have to know that you're in their field of vision for that week, for that, and not even month, I don't think. I call it week because we have so many things coming at us now that are taking our attention away from us, you know, that if you're on their radar weekly through some method, maybe it's a text, maybe it's a phone call, maybe it's a social media post, maybe an email, any of that stuff, that's going to be very important. So, Robert, I would tell you that is a very big thing to do. Make sure you're reaching out. Make sure you're touching people.
Sure. And you know, there's, you know, last year, 2 years ago, 3 years ago, whatever it is, there were a lot of clients that came through your door that was sort of a one and done kind of deal. Reach out back to them saying, hey, great shoot, you know, whatever had happened last year, looking forward to hopefully get on the next project with you, and here's some new gear, here's this, here's that. You know, just sort of, knock on the door a little bit.
Well, that's a very, very good point. I just want to say this. You cannot do that enough. You should be talking to all your people and once again, here, I am not the perfect guy on this. I have not done that, but I'm going to start. It doesn't have to be everyone. You can be a little bit selective there because you want to control that.
Of
you know what I mean? You want to control that. You know what? And I just want to say this before we go. We're going to take a quick little we're going to
let's take a look at some videos.
Yeah, let's take a look at this video. That's what I want to say. I didn't even tell anybody that we're going to do a visit today with Emily Stradulis at Roscoe, and we're going to do another visit with Sean Heiss at KinoFlow that we just did this morning. We just did these interviews this morning, and we're going to go back and revisit Tom Jacob at Airy and one of the pieces that we made for his Skylink that he gave us. So we're going to actually have, it's not just me and Gary yakking all the time, which will bore the hell out of you, but we're going to go out and see some places. So Tony, what's up? What do we got up first?
Who do you want to start with?
We could start with Emily.
All right,
Let's
Emily.
do it. She's actually watching right now. I saw her tuning in. So.
Great. Hi, Emily. That's great. That's great. Well, I'll tell you what. Let's. We ready to do that?
Let's do it.
All right, let's do it. Here we go. Hi, Emily. Are you there?
We're here shooting from the Roscoe showroom. Bernie, hi.
Awesome. How are you doing?
I'm doing great. It's been a fantastic 2018, and we're excited for 2019.
Yes. That's our theme today is 2019. We're seeing what's coming up, what's going on. We're dusting off the 2018 and moving forward right now. And I couldn't think of a better person to talk to you than you about, you don't have to give us any insiders, but I know you got some new stuff. If there's anything going on with Roscoe this year that they're putting out that you know about that you can talk about, because I've talked to several people who can't talk about it yet. But we'd love to hear what's going on. What are you guys doing at Roscoe this year?
Yeah, absolutely. So like you said, we do have some things that we have to be a little hush-hush about, but I did want to show you a couple of previews of things that are coming down the line. So following our successful launch of Roscoe's full color line Mix by DMG. So this was a new line for us that we started off as bicolor in 2017, and we had a tremendously successful launch of the Mix line in 2018 at NAB and Cinegear. We swept the awards. We got Best in Show at both NAB, Cinegear, and recently in the fall at Cynic. And to this line, we launched the mini size and the SL1 size. And what makes this line really unique to the other color changing RGB fixtures that are out there is we actually have a much wider gamut than anybody else on the market. So we have a proprietary set of 6 LEDs, half of which are phosphor converted. And so that allows us to give the gaffer, the DP, the broadest color range on the market, and allows you to do some unique things. So like the red, for instance, that you see here is not going to blow out the camera's sensor. So we're using different LEDs that Roscoe has developed to achieve that color space. And then we also have this really handy app that allows you to interface with the fixture and really improve and quicken your workflow. So here I've got my light connected via Bluetooth, so I don't need to set up any complicated wireless networks or anything like that. And then from here, I can come in and I can adjust my hue and saturation very easily. I can pick my Roscoe gels. And of course, because we're the only manufacturer that makes all the different kinds of gels on the market, you now have the ability to accurately match all of the gels to both a 3200 and a 5600 light source. So we have a very tight QC process where we validate those colors to the eye, to the camera, to the meter, and with a DIT. So for the first time, you actually have the ability to match gels accurately. And we've had some really great feedback from the market on that. John Sandow got some of the first units, and he actually went through the entire color space with his fluorescent fixture and matched one-to-one with the fixture on the gels, and said he could not absolutely tell a difference on camera, which was really exciting for us to hear.
Wow.
Yeah,
that's really great. I know you guys just knocked it out of the park at NAB last year. I remember going over there and talking to you and seeing the crowd there, frankly, you know, and all the excitement around it. And that wasn't just once, that was all the time you were at NAB. So and you know, we have talked, and I want to get my hands on that unit and play with it, you know. But it's a fantastic piece of equipment. So I'm very glad. Is there what is there anything you can tell us about what may be coming out at NAB this year? And believe me, you don't have to if there's anything, you know, dicey if you can't talk about it immediately.
Yeah, absolutely. So we're going to be making some additions to the app that you're going to see at NAB. So we'll have a broader range of colors that are going to be available, as well as effects. So when we first launched the app, you had about 78 colors that were available right off the gate. So we'll have much more expanded color range and effects for you to be able to do. Something I know that we're also working on that we're hoping to have available by NAB is the ability to be backwards compatible to our bicolor line as well. So for clients who already have the bicolor switch line, you'll be able to hopefully use the app along with that as well. You obviously won't be able to get the full color range because they don't have the LED chips, but you'll at least be able to have that remote Bluetooth control capability, which we're looking forward to. And you will also see our largest size, the Maxi, at NAB this year, and we're hoping to be able to launch that as soon as we can this coming year. This is really going to give folks access to a much broader source of full spectrum color in spaces, and to be able to move around in a way that just hasn't been possible for folks with their own trucks. So this entire unit right now, you've got almost as much output as a sky panel at 10 feet in the bicolor unit. Because of our proprietary LED set, you actually get a 30% approximate boost in your white Kelvin scale when we move to our full color spectrum. So we're really excited to see the full color version of this at NAB. This entire unit only weighs as much as a Source 4. So you've got 24 pounds and a massive amount of output. What we're seeing on camera right now is actually only at 5%. And as you can see, you can do some unique configurations. So this can go flat, but I can also take these panels out. I can separate them. I can run them remotely and control them differently. So that's going to open a lot of capacity for gaffers and DPs to get a huge, broad, beautiful, soft source. And a lot of output that they haven't been able to have in a way that's accessible and easily transportable.
Wow, that is really fantastic. Now, did I hear that correctly? This, at NAB, this light will be on sale and available. Is that correct?
We're not sure yet. We are still finalizing our final R&D, so I don't want to make any promises about launch until I get the okay from my engineers, but it will certainly be something that you'll see, and you'll see with those broader color ranges and effects capable in that split ability as well.
That is awesome. Very, very exciting. And you know, I did not know that about the guy taking a KinoFlow and matching all of your colors with what he used. That is amazing. I would love to see some. And next time we're together, maybe you could show me some material on that. But that is an amazing thing to do. I'd love. Maybe I could talk to him sometime too. I find that fascinating.
Yeah, absolutely. And if you want to, next time I'm down there, we'll take a tungsten, we can take a halogen or HMI, and we'll throw it on there, and we'll see it on camera for yourselves. What do you guys think?
That's awesome. That's fantastic. Love to do that. Would love to do that. Emily, thank you so much. I'm looking forward to seeing you again. Looking forward certainly to being over at NAB. And you know, I feel so weird saying NAB on the first show that we're doing in 2019. But you know what? This is really sort of that season. We talked about that last year. If you're a manufacturer or somebody who's a buyer or something like that, this first half of the year is so important in G&E. You know, everybody is coming out with the new items and our biggest events, you know, Cine Gear, NAB, you know, just to name a few, or come out during that period.
Yeah, absolutely. And we start planning, years ahead for these trade shows. So I'm excited as much as you are to see what we're going to have out. We will have some new forms of soft drop. We're now able to do those in much larger sizes, and we've been working a lot with DPs and gaffers to figure out different ways to project on the material. So we'll have that's really exciting. And then we also are going to have a new form of filter shaping that the film community has recently been introduced to. It did launch in 2018, but I believe at NAB this year will probably be the first time that we're exhibiting that. And that's really exciting because unlike diffusion or even the holographic lenses that manufacturers currently use on fixtures, you'll be able to shape the light in different ways without losing anywhere near as much light as you previously have. So I do have that set up if you'd like to see it.
Yeah, let's see it. Let's take a quick peek. We just got a minute or two, but yeah, let's take a peek.
So this is Optisculpt, guys, and this is a new form. You can see here it looks very different than like diffusion or the holographic lenses. It's got these kind of different patterns on it. And what's really cool about this is you can throw these filters over a hard source or a soft source, and you're getting like almost no light loss. So 15% light loss at best, which just means you no longer have that issue of having to sacrifice a stop of light and having to adjust things on camera after you're done softening things up. You also have the ability to do things like a linear format here, which might be a little hard to see because we've got all of these other lights on right now. Here, I'll pull it down around. So you can see there kind of changes the hot dog.
Yeah. It's almost like a medium lens on the light in a way.
Exactly.
That's fascinating. Yeah, that's
really
fascinating.
To show folks.
That's great, Emily. I'm looking forward to digging into that a little more. We'll do that when we're over at NAB visiting you this year.
Sounds like a plan. I'll save you a sample pack so you can play with them, Bernie.
Can't hear. All right, Emily. Well, thank you very much. It's been a pleasure to have you, and really appreciate it.
Thank you. It's been great talking to you guys. Take care. Happy New Year, and welcome to 2019, everyone.
Thank you. Bye-bye.
Bye.
All right, and we'll be right back. Hey everybody, and we are back. I'd like to thank Angelique Costanza for watching, David Buffalini, my good bro from Tacoma, Washington, Emily, that we just saw, is watching, thank you, John Nelson, William Pemrose, thank you, sir, thank you both. So yeah, tune in, let us know you're watching too, give us a shout out, give us any suggestions for 2019?
Yes.
Any suggestions that you think are a good beginning of the year way to introduce yourself, talk to people, do all that.
Sure, sure. And any questions
that
might pop up in, production-wise.
That's right.
Yes, we'd love to give you our feedback.
And I want you to know, if I don't know the answer, I will BS you until you're satisfied. So
that's true.
You've got that from me. That's a commitment. That's a commitment to you. So, you know what, Gary, I'll tell you one of the things, and I had some time to really, I had this year, which was kind of unique for me, it was probably about from the mid-month to just like a couple days ago, I really sort of dropped out of the business. Yeah. I really did. There were little things to take care of. I had things pretty well wrapped up this year and stuff like that. And first, I'll tell you the thing that I found out about myself. I don't know what to do with myself if I'm not working.
You too, huh, Bernie?
I'm telling you, I was almost like ashamed of it. It was just like, you know, I sit around complaining that, well, complain, you know, gripe, you know how we all do.
Sure.
Oh, I don't have any time, I got to do this. There's,
Sure.
oh, I can't, you know, do all that. When given the choice of what you want to do, I drew a blank, dude.
Well,
I'll just tell you, I drew a blank.
Well, here's the deal. You know, a lot of us have made the business our hobby also.
Hobby as well as livelihood,
Yeah,
right?
livelihood.
Yeah.
So
yeah.
you mix the two, and you know, we use it as a playground to have fun.
Yeah.
You know, we use it as technical ability. You know, to see how good you
Yeah.
are on set. And,
Yeah.
you know,
It's
accomplished you
part
are.
of your ego.
It's part
of your
absolutely,
ego.
absolutely.
You're building yourself up.
And then when, you know, the work not dries up, but the work goes into hiatus, let's call it, because
Yeah.
of the holiday season.
Yeah.
You sit around the house thinking, well, what shall I do?
What do I do?
What do I do now?
Yeah. Well, yeah, right. And you know what? And I have no idea as I say this how I would ever incorporate this in my own life, so take it for what it's worth there. But it reminded me now, you know, it's important to have some sort of interest outside of this business,
Yes.
outside of that world that you're in. And that's a lot. It's almost a lot to ask. And I just look at the lifestyle that I live, and I consider myself blessed. You know what I mean? I think I do live a good lifestyle. I live in a great place. I have a job and I love. I own my own business. All of these things are fantastic. But you know what? When I was sitting there for that 2 weeks, it made me really realize I am not a complete or fulfilled person. All of my direction, my thinking, my cognitive abilities are really going in just one direction. Now, you know, I'm kind of I would say I watch politics probably like most people watch sports.
Right.
You know, but that's not really what I'm talking about.
No.
You know, I have other interests. I have things that fascinate me, just like my work life does. But to not be able to think of anything to do besides what you do for work, I don't know. I just thought of me. I've got to spread my wings.
Yeah.
I've got to adapt to other things.
Sure, like everybody else. You know, one thing I did do with my downtime is, you know, you want to close out 2018.
Yes,
you
want
to file it, put it away, and you got to get 2019 up and running and a great file system.
Yeah.
You know, for tax purposes also.
Oh, absolutely.
You know, I even hate those three-letter word, but you got to be ready because it can catch up to you and bite you in the butt.
Oh, we've
single
both
time.
been bitten by it. You know, I know when I started in this business too, the tax thing was very good. Now, what I do is I you know, first of all, you have to do it. If you're doing that, I mean, that's your tax day is every day of the year.
Yes.
You know, because you got to keep everything lined up. I think we do a pretty good job of keeping our information good, and then getting it to my accountant who can go through it and make it happen. You know,
yeah.
But there is one area I don't even touch it.
Yeah, that's
let the
one
pros
thing.
do that.
I was talking to Sean, our buddy Sean Ryan over here. You know, that when you go out to meals, you know, you go out to lunches, dinners, whatever you do.
Yeah.
Grab that receipt, right on the back side of it. You know, the date you met, who you met with, their names, and what you talked about.
Yeah.
You know, my CPA
That's a really great tip.
always told me to do that.
Yeah.
Now, you don't have to prove anything unless found guilty of something, but it's an easy thing to do. You put it away.
Right.
You know, you file it, put it away, and that way, if anything does come up, and that A word happens to you, you're ready to go to show, you know, who are you with, what the meetings you had, and then at least you're ahead of the curve at that point.
You know, that is the one thing that I would tell people this year. If your economics and your finances and your money flow is something that you want to do better at, or you feel like you don't track it enough, take action. Take action, because I got in trouble with the money thing early on in business because, you know, I was used to getting a paycheck.
That's right.
And I was an older guy, and I'd always gotten payroll. You know, not putting that amount of money away you need to put it away. And even putting it away is something I don't actually do. I know it's coming out. But I've got a really good, great office manager, Connie. If any of you have worked with her, you probably talked to Connie. She's a real sweetheart. and probably one of the key people in my business that keeps my business going.
Absolutely.
Because she will always take those checks when it's coming out. She knows the cost. She's pulling money out all the time. We're putting the rest into our finance money,
Sure.
you know, that we can run the business with. But boy, you can get upside down and ruin yourself
real quick.
You know, the last thing you want to do as a freelancer is have the taxes come in and start sending everybody out all your information that they're garnishing your check. That is a very bad thing, because I've gotten probably 3 or 4 of them about other people. And I can tell you, and I've had them sent about me. I mean, the same thing has happened to me. But I can tell you this, that when you get that about somebody, it immediately puts you off.
Yeah, absolutely.
It immediately goes, oh, this guy's got problems. I don't know if I want those problems. Oh, I don't want the IRS even looking at me.
That's right, my direction, yes.
Yeah, you know, so that is going to hurt you. You know, you have to come up. I'll tell you, being in business as a freelancer for yourself or owning a business makes you a better person, because if you don't decide that you're going to get on top of it and you master it, not have it master you, then you know you're gonna have a lot of problems unless you do
absolutely. You know, your CPA, your bookkeeper is the backbone of your business.
Absolutely.
You know, keeping the numbers straight is really important. And the other thing too is every year you should be putting money into your retirement account, your IRA, your SEP IRA. You know, and you know, because one day you'll be that golden age where you want to get out of this business. And
this is that day for me, Gary.
It's every day
for me. That's what all those guys were talking to me about 40. You know, and I swear to God, for 40 years, and I am not good at this. I am the worst as far as putting money away. You know, and I've never really done it. To be honest with you, I've never really done it. But all the years, for 40 years, people, you better put some away. Better put some away. That is true, and they're telling you. But here's how I look at it, and this is really something I think we can bring home to somebody out there right now today. When you're looking at your money and you're saying to yourself, how much do I need to make? Okay, I can bet dollars to donuts you are just taking your monthly cost, if you're even going that far, but taking your monthly cost and figuring out how much it costs you to live, and then you're dividing that by the number of days you work, and you're going, I have to make this much per day to make that money. Right?
That's right.
Well, that's a lie. And you are automatically ripping yourself
You're fooling
off.
yourself.
Because you're fooling yourself. Because here's what you actually need. You need that amount of money to make what you need monthly.
Yes.
Then you need to make another amount that is going to cover the taxes. So it's not just the taxes on what you're making at that point. It's going to be the taxes on what you're making once you get the taxes too. So you got to bump up. But there's a third party that needs to be paid too. And that's yourself who can't work anymore.
Yeah, absolutely.
When you get my age and you get out there and it starts to really hurt now, it's not just sore, it really hurts. You know what I mean? That's who you have to have the money for in those last years of your life, that 20 or 30 years of life. Sure, you've paid into Social Security, you'll get that. Take my word for it, it won't be enough.
Yeah, it won't be
You've got to have something in that nest egg that's an investment, that's a Roth IRA, something like that, that is going to be able to, you're going to be able to draw from. And it's not going to be a lot. So that's the amount of money you need to make in a month. You need to make about whatever you need in your regular cost, you need to make 1.5 times that for taxes in the future.
Yeah, in that future. You know, I'm not advertising, you know, this app, but last year somebody told me about an app called Acorn.
Okay.
And it's really simple.
Yeah.
Basically, you have them tie into your, you know, your either it could be your regular checking account, your business account, and it basically, every purchase you make, let's say it's $10.20. Yeah. It will round up to the next dollar. So basically, it will take 80 cents, put it into
an
account, and every purchase you make, it rolls it just rolls it up to the next amount and pulls that out and puts it into a savings account, and you can withdraw that anytime or just let it keep going.
Wow.
And they sent me an email the other day, just a little, hey, you have this much in your account now from last year. Do you want it 2 times? You want it 5 times? You want it 10 times it? The amount of how much is being pulled out after each purchase.
Yeah.
So that's just one. I heard another one was called Stash. There's many out there.
Several other ones.
Several ones. So that's
good idea.
If it's hard to save, maybe that's the way to do it.
It does that is a good thing for savings, absolutely. But when you're talking to that client, remember your real numbers.
Right.
Yeah, remember the real numbers, because it's got to be more than what you're making now. And the way you get those clients is you go out and hunt them up.
Yes.
You go find them. They don't knock on your door.
No.
Yeah, you go find them. You know what, Gary? We got this other piece we did, this really awesome piece with Sean Heiss over at KinoFlow. And he showed me a couple things that directly affect what I am going to buy this next year. Both these items I'm making plans and a budget to purchase. So on a couple heads, obviously.
Cool.
But I want to take a look at that now, because this stuff is really, really exciting. Do we got that, guys? Is that up? All right, they're telling me it's good. Let's take a look. Hey, Sean, are you there?
Yeah. Hey, how's it going, Bernie?
Good, buddy. Thank you so much. I know we kind of, here it is early in the year and we're getting going. Let me take care of this, Sean. Sorry, you're supposed to turn my phone off on set. You know how that is. Give me a second. All right, very good. There we go. Hey, I know you're going to show us some very cool things, some new things, something that came out a little before, but something new for this year. What have we got going at KinoFlow?
We're introducing a couple new products, all part of our new LED line. We had been offering an image fixture conversion kit, but in the process of coming up with the kit and working all that out, we decided we could just create a whole new fixture. The popularity of the image fixtures over the years has proven, again, well, to be popular, to be redundant, super popular. So what we've done is now, I'm going to pan around, I'll show you. We've taken the
that's awesome.
Yeah, we've taken the image fixture and we've added all the software and electronics and an LED panel. I'm going to spin this around. So now you have an LED version of our image fixture, which it runs on the same software. It has all the same features. Right now it's just in white light mode, but it is full RGB WW. It has the built-in wireless receiver and all the same features you have on all the celebs and the freestyles. And so now we're offering the brand new fixtures or retrofit kits, whichever you'd like to do, whatever works for you. But yes, there's been a lot of interest, and it's gaining popularity, especially among rental houses who already own a lot of image fixtures.
Yeah, that is really awesome. And we have discussed, I'm going to have 3 units converted by you guys as well. And I am really, really impressed with that. Now, you say that you have ones that are for sale, not retrofitted, but new units for sale. Can you tell me what those go out for? What is the retail on those?
The list price is around $4,000, so it's considerably less expensive, than you might imagine for the amount of light output there is. Right now you can add a gel frame, you can add a grid or a louver. We're working on possibly some options on more rigid diffusion that you could add. But yeah, it's a great value for the money as far as the output you get. And you can use them for the same types of things you've always used image fixtures for. So CBS and Warner Brothers and some other people have been buying them and retrofitting the ones they have. And so far it's been very successful.
Very good. Yeah, I am impressed by that price point. I will tell you, that is a very realistic price point, and certainly something that the unit's going to last a long time and give a great return at that point. So very impressed with that.
That price was for the new unit. A retrofit kit would allow you to, retrofit your existing fixtures is about $2,500. So
Great.
considerably less than a brand new fixture. But we're
Sure.
allowing people to trade. We're allowing people to trade in their old fixtures and get a smoking deal on a new one. So either way, it's a win-win for our customers. So we're not out to make a fortune on these, but it is providing added value to the fixtures that are already out there and for people who own them, especially in a rental situation.
Yeah, that is a really great situation. That's awesome, Sean. You know what? I'm excited though to see your next item, because that is brand new.
Yeah, it is brand new. In other words, we haven't shipped it yet. We're shipping at the end of January. I hope this shot's wide enough that you can see.
Yeah, it looks good.
So what we have here are the new LED tubes, the 4-foot LED tubes that we're calling freestyle tubes. So they are a full 310 degrees as far as the diameter goes. So you can utilize them in a more traditional 4-bank fixture. They work in the same way that a traditional 4-bank fixture would work. The 4 lights blend with the reflector to create one soft source. But the added advantage is they can come out of the fixture and they can work independent of. They all run off, we're calling it the Freestyle 4. What it is, it's part of the Freestyle system, which has been gaining a lot of popularity. The Freestyle 31 is extremely popular. So this would be a situation where people who own 4-bank fixtures could retrofit the existing fixtures they have. They would need the tubes, a new harness, and a controller. But you can also start from scratch. And what we've done is we've built an optimized fixture with a reflector and a harness. And again, it's all designed to give you the flexibility of working with the lamps in a fixture or with the lamps outside the fixture. So we'll have extensions and all kinds of fun gadgets. We'll have ways of mounting the tubes. We're already working on some of that stuff. It'll all be available at the end of this month, end of January 2019.
Wow, all available at the end of this month. That is awesome. That is awesome. You know what, Sean, I've got to tell you, I've had a long time relationship with Kino Flow, and, I feel like they've been partially responsible for my success with using those units and stuff. And I want to tell you, I really, really appreciate you guys being so on top of the end user and designing equipment that is easy to use and it's set for making you money. I really honestly love Kino Flow, and I love this unit. It is great. I do have one question.
Sure.
And I think I know the answer of it, but you said this is a 310-degree unit. What that means is there's 50 degrees on the back that holds the LEDs, correct?
No, yeah, there's a strip on the back. I'll see if I can pull this out enough that you can see. It's a little hard to do this one-handed, but the tube comes out.
Okay.
And so all the chips are mounted on that heat sink on the back.
Yes.
And what it allows for, as opposed to a half tube, there are a lot of half tubes on the market.
Yeah.
The half tube in a reflector doesn't really work as one single source. So these, because they will be, the heat sink is recessed into the reflector, and you're utilizing 310 degrees of this nice lightweight acrylic extrusion. You do have one soft source without having to put diffusion in front of it. These are also going to be water resistant. They're not submergible, but they're water resistant. So they'll have an IP rating. They'll have an appropriate IP rating so that, if they get wet, it's not a big deal. But the fact is, you can do all the same things with these tubes that you can do with any of our freestyle units or any of our celeb units, meaning you have full white light mode, you have gel preset, hue saturation intensity mode, you have RGB, and you have the effects mode that we've all introduced with TrueMatch. Our software TrueMatch 3.0, we've introduced all the effects now. So
that is awesome.
Yeah, I don't know if I can actually get this back in there one-handed or not.
Don't worry about it. Don't worry about it.
Luckily they disconnect very easily too.
Yeah, no, that is important. That's very important.
I disconnected it with one hand, so
that's awesome. That's how I do most of my work. No, that is phenomenal. And do you guys have a price point on that yet, Sean?
Well, basically a full unit. Say if you just you already have an existing 4-bank, and you want to just buy the basic components, which would be the controller, the harness, and the tubes. That's going to be around $2,500 and these are list prices.
Yeah,
if you want to start from scratch with the fixture, it bumps it up a little bit. I think it's around $3. We tried to keep it under $3.
Yes.
But for the features that are offered, it's
that's a deal. That's a very good deal. That's a very good deal, Sean. Absolutely.
So it's roughly it's roughly the same price as a Freestyle 31, similar, but it gives you all these other flex, the tube option.
The versatility right there is amazing with the tube option, of course. Yeah.
That's Sean, what everybody's been asking for. So.
Yeah, now you're giving it to them, and I love that. That's what KinoFlow does, and they listen. And I know it's because of guys like Frieder and Ray and Scott. They're professionals. They've been in the business so long. They know what makes the business work. That's why I love it. So, Sean, thank you so much for your time. I know we put you through a couple of made you jump through some lit hoops, but no, it's great. I really appreciate you doing this. We're going to do more certainly with KinoFlow, but it is really awesome. Thank you so much, my man.
I was happy for the opportunity to talk to you, and I'm amazed at this technology. I've never done this. Yeah. It's pretty cool.
I know, cool. It's pretty great. Thank you so much, Sean, and we'll be seeing you soon, my man.
All right. Thank you, Bernie. It's always a pleasure. Happy New Year.
Happy New Year to you, buddy. See you then. Bye-bye.
Bye. Bye.
All right, and we'll be right back. Hi, I'm Bernie. I own Bernie's Grip and Lighting, San Diego Grip and Lighting, and Los Angeles Grip and Lighting. We pride ourselves on not only renting you the best equipment, but also giving you the best crews. And one of our core values here at Bernie's Grip and Lighting is that we give you the highest production value in the world. And remember, people used to say national, local. No, we present world-class production value on every set. We also know budgets are very tight these days, and you've got 10 hours to get what you need in the can. We move ahead, we move fast, and we know what you need. When you rent from Bernie's Grip and Lighting, you have a partner on your production for that day that is making sure you are well taken care of. So anytime you're in Southern California, give us a call at 714-609-3545. And we'll take very good care of you. See you on set. Hey, everybody. Well, thank you very much. It was a great show. I loved it. It was so great and so nice of Emily and Sean to show us around KinoFlow. Unfortunately, we didn't have enough time this week to get into Tom's thing at Erie, but we'll get that next week or the next day. And I want to thank you, Gary.
Right on, Bernie. Thanks for having me as always.
A good night in 2019. Guys, thanks a lot. It was
everyone.
Hey,
always
Happy New
great
Year,
working
everyone.
with you guys, and we're going to wrap it up and we're going to take it out. So we'll see you next Friday at 2 o'clock at Burnie's Applebox. Cut. That's a wrap.